Queendom? It's your girl Tay, and we are back with another banger. Shout out to the queens and kings that are new to my channel. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, all that good and make sure your post notification bell is on so that you do not miss any videos. So today in Tay hand painting class, we will be learning how to use multiple shades of one color and also how to use different techniques to get the very perfect blend. So as you guys can see, I am currently going in with the color. The first color that I used is Azure, and it is by Kiss Colors. The next color that I used, you will see shortly, which is Aquamarine in Kiss Colors. And then the last color that I use at the bottom will be Blue Moonlight. So as you can see, I am currently using my fingers to press in the colors and move it in an up and down motion because you want to make sure that there is no line of demarcation. So wherever you want the color to begin, you will smooth it out there, and you also want to use your brush at an angle so that you don't have a line of demarcation. Also, to make sure that I get a seamless blend, I sometimes use my comb to comb through the color. That'll also help with the blending, and that'll make sure that each strand that I'm working with has color on it. So as I mentioned before, we are about to go into the Aquamarine color. So wherever you finished your first color, you want to basically put a layer of the next color on the bottom of that as well. So you will make sure that the colors kind of overlap each other so that when you do put them together, it's not such a break in the color or a line of demarcation. A line of demarcation means that you can see clearly where each color begins, and that's not what we want because we want it to be seamless. We want it to be pretty. We want it to be flowing. Finally, we're about to go in with our Blue Moonlight. You will repeat the steps that you did with the Aquamarine, making it overlap with the Blue Moonlight. As you guys can see, I pretty much use my brush at a slant and not with the bristles at the top because that will create that line that we do not want. And then I smudged it in with my fingers just to make sure that each piece of hair was covered. And then we're going to move on to the next part. So we're just going to repeat the steps for each section. You can do this in bigger sections. However, it may be harder for you to cover every strand of hair. So I like to go in with smaller sections just to make sure that I backtrack my steps thoroughly and make sure that I'm covering all that I need to cover. I really could have did the watercolor method, but I really enjoy hand painting wigs because it's very therapeutic for me. So it's very well worth it. It does take some time. It's very time consuming, but it's well worth it in the end. Sometimes watercolor doesn't get it how you exactly need it to be. Also with watercolor, it's very hard to not get that line of demarcation, especially when you're doing like multiple shades of one color or if you're doing multiple colors. So y'all thought I was gonna move on without getting that spot? So I went and got the color. I put a little bit on my hand and then I just blended it in with the top color and the bottom color. We do not miss no strands over her, okay? We get to done. We get to blending and then we keep it moving. And there you have it, guys. The back's first section is complete. Like I explained to you guys before, it is very time consuming. So had I been on here doing the whole entire wig, we would be here all day. So what I did was I went in off camera and I completed majority of the back. Here you guys can kind of see a line of demarcation, but that will go away once I do the blending. I kind of just wanted to make that line so that I can know exactly where I wanted to place the color at the top, only because I wanted more of the blonde to show at the top. So once I'm finished with my guide, I will basically go in and blend out and diffuse it with the blonde so that it flows together with the blue. So in these videos, you guys will see me using a towel. I do use a towel to wipe off the excess color just so that I can make sure that everything is not so messy. Color can be messy, but I'm a neat freak, so when it begins to get too messy, I make sure that I clean up as much as I can as I go along, and just to make sure that the colors are not where I do not want them. So here we are finished with the back half of the wig, and we'll be moving to the top. I just want to say something real quick though. If you want a custom color wig, make sure you're ready to pay. It is very time consuming, and you know, we just don't be doing this to just be doing this. Like, we take time, we take our efforts, we take our patience, and we put it all into this wig. It's not just a zip, zan, boom, and then you sign. No, so you gotta pay, hunty. You gotta pay for what you want. You gotta pay for quality. Or you could subscribe to Éclat Hollywood and do it yourself at home. Period. So right now I'm just parting the front exactly how I want it to be. I did do a side swoop, little bang or whatever. Not the bang. The bang. But no, seriously, that's just what I'm doing right now. I'm parting it so that I can place the color where I want it to fall when I do style it. I did use the water bottle to kind of like help me part and lay the hairs where I needed to for the moment. It will dry up as you go along with coloring, but it's okay to use water. As long as you're not drenching it, then you might as well do the watercolor. The thing about hand painting a wig is that you want to create a clean and organized space. You want to make sure that you know exactly what you want to do. Sometimes you have the creative mind and an idea may pop up in your head, but if you have a vision of what you want beforehand, it'll help you create it. At least that's how it works for me. Pretty much all the wigs that I do, I pretty much imagine it in my head first, and then I'm able to put it out there. But it may be different for some people, but I'm just giving you guys some techniques that I use and how I'm able to create things like this. So in the front, I'm using the same techniques instead that I used in the back. However, I did not use 3 colors on each section. I did swap between Azure and Aquamarine as my first color and ending them all with blue Moonlight on the tips. So I went and completed the front off camera, And here is the final look of the front. So now I'm just playing with it to see how it will lay once I do style it and how the colors will fall. And I think it's gonna come out really, really pretty. Drop them comments below if y'all think it's gonna come out fire. I think it's gonna come out fire. What y'all think? Over time, the color did kind of dry out, which is okay. So I went in with my spray bottle and I saturated the hair. Not too much, but enough just to give it back some moisture. And then we're gonna cover it with our plastic cap, and then we're gonna place that baby under the dryer. Putting it under the dryer will just help make the color stick to the hair. Not saying that it won't stick if I don't dry it, but just to make sure that the color sticks how I need it to. Because these are light colors, the dryer will definitely help with that. So with that being said, I do want to thank you guys for tuning in to today's pan painting class. Remember to subscribe so you do not miss how I cut and style this beauty. I love you guys and thank you for watching.